Did everybody enjoy Never Hike Alone? That's right, yeah.
Did you see it?
It was good. That's my first time actually watching it.
He's back.
So of course, Thom Matthews famously played Tommy Jarvis and did again in Never Hike Alone. So let's give a round of applause for that awesome performance. That was a pleasant surprise at the end there. Maggot face, yeah. So if anybody's got any questions about Never Hike Alone or just anything in general that is about Thom Matthews and what he's done or what he's gonna do, now's the time.
All right.
Hi, my name's Sean, and from Niagara Falls.
Hi, Sean.
Hello, Tom. Nice to finally meet you, sir. So, tell the people how the movie all came about and how you got involved with, with the film.
It's funny enough. I have an old friend. He's a writer, and he called me one day and says, "Do me a favor. I'm sorry to bother you, but can you do me a favor? I have a friend who's a huge horror fan, and would you mind meeting him?" And I said, "Sure, of course. I know how hard this phone call is for you to call me, and anything for you." So we had dinner in Studio City, met Barry, and it turned out to be Barry of Barry's Boot Camp, and huge fan. He was blushing, he was over the moon, and we had a nice dinner. My wife Carl was there, my friend Mike was there, and he mentioned he was involved in this fan film called Never Hike Alone, and would I like to be somehow involved in it. And I thought, a fan film? I'm thinking no fucking way in my head. And I said, sure, that'd be great. Send me what you have. So he sent over, because they had already shot half the movie. They'd go up there on the weekends and shoot for a few hours, and they had half the movie in the can, and he showed it to me, and I saw it, and it was amazing. So we figured out, met the director Vincent, and we figured out how I could become involved in it, and it was turned out really well. I mean, I think it set the new bar for fan films in the future, because it was really well made. And I had seen a bunch of fan films prior to that, and they weren't very well made, but this one was certainly top notch. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
The production value was great, and Vincent's amazing. He's a rising star for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's in New Mexico right now shooting Fanboy.
That's right.
Bugger. Well, we wanted to have him come, right? You have anything, Steve, or anybody?
That was terrific.
Oh, good.
That was really good.
Yeah. That just stuck around, Steve. Yeah, it was
When do they
really
start
fun.
the sequel?
We're talking about it now. Yeah, we're trying to get funding. He's trying to get funding for it. Talking about a prequel and also a sequel. And the sequel takes off, it overlaps into the Never Hike Alone.
Yeah.
Like my fight scene, which you see off camera, the way I understand it, you see me and Jason actually have the fight on camera, so it takes it a little bit before. They kind of overlap, the endings. The ending and the Never Hike Alone, the beginning of Never Hike Alone. Never Hike Again, or whatever he's going to name it.
Do they have a script for the sequel yet?
It has a treatment, an idea. So.
I got a question. Are you involved in that Fanboy movie as well at all?
No, I was, and then I signed a letter of intent like a year and a half ago, and she just kept adding tons of people to it.
That sounds like they have about 80% of the entire cast.
Yeah, so I was like, and it didn't make sense to me to play. She wanted me to. Originally, it was the story. The idea was completely different from my involvement in it, and then she kept adding people, and I only saw myself either playing as Tommy Jarvis or as myself at one of these conventions, which would have been fine, but. She wanted me to play a detective in it, and then other people are playing themselves in it, so it didn't really make sense to me to play a detective or a third character or something.
Yeah, okay.
And it got diminished. I mean, I was prominent in the poster, and then it kind of got way down to the side.
Yeah,
so it was like,
I saw
I could see where it was headed.
Oh, okay. Well, that answers that because I assumed you
Yeah.
were still in that because I think I saw the early, announcement of it and
Yes.
they got and you were on
Yeah.
there. So yeah, all right, well, good enough. One more question. So now that you've done this fan film, you're kind of more open to them now, I guess, now compared to when they were
I've been
shot
offered.
on like VHS.
No, I've been. If they're well made, yeah,
Yeah.
and the story has a lot to do with it. If it makes sense for me or the character to come back, yeah. But just randomly be in the even if it's not the franchise, it's got Jason or in it. It just doesn't make sense for me to come back as somebody else.
Oh, fair enough. Good choice.
You want? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So just keeping with the theme of reprising the role of Tommy Jarvis, I saw that YouTube video about the video game, Friday the 13th, the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of gamers, they're all playing online, and then you're playing as Tommy Jarvis. And they're like, this guy sucks, he can't play video games.
Yeah, I was playing with myself. Yes.
Exactly.
I know where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great game, it's a lot of fun, and two quick questions is, have you tried the game yourself?
I have.
Like, oh, just on your own, okay,
Yeah,
great.
I have. My son had an account and he was playing, and then I jumped on a couple of. I mean, like any video game, you got to play it a lot to know the ins and outs of it. But I had played early on, and I died, and I became myself, and then some freaking camper killed me. We're supposed to be on the same team. I was so pissed off. My buddy next to me killed me.
Did you have a mic? Did you start saying, you just killed the real time?
That would have made it feel real bad.
But then they made it so that people couldn't do that after that. So I was really frustrated.
What was it like stepping into the role that way, like for a video game? I guess I don't know if there was like a motion capture or anything like that, or is it just a voiceover?
There was. I got added on to the.
Switch mics.
I got added on to
Sorry.
the game, I think, because the fans requested. So my participation was just me okaying my image,
Right.
which we went back and forth like 5 or 6 times before we got something close, and then just voiceovers.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And I think we should like swap mics maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it's more important to hear Tom than it is to hear us.
Yeah, because it is still a thing. Here.
Testing.
It's working now.
Oh, is it?
It's a little crackly, so we'll just.
All right.
Okay.
Test. Hello. Your mama said
We're
she
gonna
loved me.
wipe it up anyway.
There, and
You
the
still want
mic.
to use the mic?
This is.
No, go ahead.
It seems fine.
Kieran can tell you.
All right.
What was your favorite player to be as in the Friday the 13th game?
Did you play as a player or camper, or did you play as Jason? Or?
What was your favorite character to play as a camper?
Oh,
Tommy Jarvis or
play myself.
You played himself. They have that option in the game? Because I did.
You can't. You have to die to become me.
I'm usually.
You have to die. You have to die, and then they have to.
Call the radio.
They have to call for help, and then.
Yeah, Tommy
And then-
Jarvis is on his way.
And then you have to keep watching. After you die, you have to keep watching the game, and then you have an opportunity to become Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah. So when you do the when you do part 2, I spoke to Vincent about it. Are you going to carry on as a? Do you know anything? I mean, you're going to carry on as the paramedic guy.
It's going to be almost a continuation of part
Yeah,
1.
just gonna he's
Yeah.
gonna meet you at a hospital. Or
Yeah,
something.
unless yes, exactly.
Never hike in the snow.
And then Vinny Gustafaro, who was the deputy, is now the sheriff of the town.
Oh right,
And
Vinny.
he comes busting ass in with a couple of deputies who quickly become victims.
Yeah, right on. Anybody else? Steve, do you have any? No? Anything from Friday 6? No? I think you're pretty much. Anybody else? No?
Okay, well, thanks for coming.
All right.